probably be the lead-in for the most important stuff. Unfortunately, there's going to be evidence of WDOs, that stands for wood destroying organism. That would be like termite, power post beetles, wood decay fungi, things of that nature. It's not within my scope as a specialist to inspect that as far as analyzing what the cause of that damage is, but as part of my purview to make sure if there's something I see, I put it in my report and recommend that you have knowledge of it and you take care of it. So in the attic space, there is some wood rot at the chimney inside where water has gotten in before. I don't think you have an active leak now, but chimneys like skylights may not leak today, not even for 5 years, but at some point that's a penetration you gotta be aware of. So what happened to the people previously, whoever they were, one or more, it leaked slowly, and I don't think that they knew it leaked until eventually it probably made a stain on the ceiling somewhere. By that time, the wood had rotted a little bit, and that's the evidence you have of that problem up there. So if they do a termite inspection and the guy's thorough, under his purview, he has to log that as WDO, which is, in that case, is going to be wood decay fungi. Okay, so that might come up on a WDO report. On the flip side, some termite guys really don't get overly enthusiastic about crawling through the attic. So if he doesn't make it back there, it won't go on the report, but you'll know about it because of us. I'm telling you about it because if they do that, if it comes up, that might be one of those things with VA that could hold you up. So it's important to know. I did photograph what was termite damage above there, but they're in the process of repairing that. So when that's done, I would try to schedule that around that so that you can have a report that dates fine afterwards, showing it was addressed. Those are the two things for WDO that I saw. Minor things, a little bit of wood rot at the bottom of the exterior door for the bathroom, the pool bathroom, and a little bit on the side exterior garage door. Those are pretty typical areas. And the damage is really minor, but in the state of Florida, it's still considered WDO, so they log it. The repair for that is simple. It's really just carving it out. You can just get rid of it and it goes away. Okay. Controlling water from the roof is your culprit for that. So that would be the condition you have to address to prevent it from happening again. Okay, so that was the VA portion of that. Roof is great. I mean, the shingles are only 2 years old, safe to walk on, did a nice job. There's one thing that I have up there that we should pay attention to. On the skylight, particularly the one closest to us, you have the old-fashioned covers on there, right? Well, apparently, when they redid the roof, or maybe sometime previously, they left the old nail penetration in at least one of them, and they did not seal it. So when you pull back on the lip of that cover, you have access to that hole. And that hole bypasses any flashing that would be there. So what has to happen is relatively simple. I think you peel that back just enough to get some sealant in there. Because you know as well as I do during wind and rain and stuff that could
water will find a way.
Yeah, usually it would be through something silly like that. Usually it's a nail penetration of something small. Other than that, shingles great, roof deck great, no real issues, no active leaks and no concerns. Sorry, Romeo's too tempting. Plumbing, same thing. In 1994, I would expect to find a challenge with plumbing because of the materials that they use, but this house was repiped. I don't have a specific date, but I know the material is PEX. I know that there might be a few insurance companies with opinions on PEX, but the vast majority accept it just fine. Nice job too. They did a nice and neat job. When you go through the attic, it is actually secured, and they give space for people who want to work up there, so they didn't really make it so you
I actually like the idea of plumbing not being buried in the foundation somewhere.
Yeah, me too. Much easier to get to. And you know, all plumbing has its weaknesses and all that stuff. This plumbing right now looks great. Things on the inside, it is what it is. You see the old cabinet bottoms, a little warping and stuff. But I put moisture meters everywhere where I normally would buy plumbing. Nothing's been wet recently, so I don't think we have any issues. It's just,
over there too, that corner?
Yeah, everywhere that we saw water. Now, when I was above there, I actually put meters up on the roof deck. You know, that's where I would find the problem. Because believe it or not, something like ceiling would dry first. Sometimes the ceiling doesn't even get wet, but that roof deck would take a little while to dry with the rain we've been having. So that's why I say I think you're good right now. Air conditioning unit was replaced in 2012. It's a 4-ton Payne unit or International Comfort. What the best thing about those products are that you can get parts from any air conditioning place. Pretty much they pull up to your house, they have the parts on the van most of the time. So if it goes down on you, it's a quick fix. It's not like one of these where you have to order parts.
Okay.
It's cooling and heating just fine. I didn't really have any big issues on the air conditioning. I think you got some life ahead of you on that.
All right.
I think you're good to go. Electrically, same thing. I was very happy about the electrical here because there was really nothing big here. Service disconnect is on that side of the building, 150 amp, Square D, good brand. Sub panel in the garage, Square D, good brand, copper wiring, nice solid. In fact, I even made a comment about the electrician's work because it's so neat. You know what I mean? These days, nobody does them that neat. You open the panel, it looks like spaghetti. This, all the wires come down, curve around nice, each breaker. I checked the wire sizes, breaker sizes, wire gauges, and did infrared scans. So we're all operating very well. Construction-wise and structurally, very sound. I don't really have much to say about that. It's been recently painted. There's no evidence of any big cracks in the building or structural movement. The only movement we have is at the rear walkway, where that walkway has dropped. All right, but it's Florida, sandy soil and all that. I think that's about it, really, from my perspective on all the major stuff. As far as immediate repairs or things that I wasn't able to determine for you, pool heater does work, but the control panel is really tricky, and I can't navigate temperature up and down with using normal controls. And the owner had said that you can probably do it with a screwdriver if you want to, but that must mean something with that is on its way out. I would have a pool guy look at that, someone who's knowledgeable. Heater comes on. Other than that, pool looks okay. Lights don't work. I think that was disclosed.
Yeah, it was under disclosure. It's a light bulb, possibly just, hopefully that's all it is.
There's two of them. I think they're both lights, a sky and a pool. The pump works, a little age behind it, but it works. And like I said, the heater does come on, control timer panel works, the GFI protection is there. Okay, fountain works, the blower motor works. Okay, that way when Romeo's feeling a little bit under the weather, you can get him in a spot. The blower motor would be kind of cute to watch him bounce around in here. I think that overall it's a really good house, especially based on the year. Because based on this year, you've hit all the big points. Like you've got a roof that's newer, an air conditioner that's like midway, plumbing that's newer, and electrical that's good.
Okay.
Most of the time, 50% good, 50% not. Come into the house, new roof, old pipes, right? So you got a little bit more here than most this age.
Thank you, Paul.
Oh, you're welcome.